Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Sparkle the Simmer coming at you with a new video series. Yes, we are doing a brand new video series, and it is about one of the longest running game, show, whatever you want to call it. It is Pokemon, you guys. We cannot get away from Pokemon. Like, we really can't. Is it Pokemon or Pokemon? How do you all say it? I don't know. I guess it depends on how I'm talking. If I say Pokemon, if I say Pokemon. Either way, Pokemon stands for Pocket Monsters. It originated in Japan and it has become a worldwide cultural phenomenon. Okay, doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, you have heard of Pokemon. Okay, and this new series is going to be surrounding pretty much the first gen Pokemon. Like, that's what I grew up with. Yes, I had a Game Boy. Yes, I'm showing my age. And quick little fun fact about me, my birthday is actually this coming Friday, January 24th, 2025, because that's what year we're in. Happy New Year, by the way, you guys, if I haven't said it already. But I am super excited to do this series, and yeah, let's just dive straight in, okay? So what I'm going to be doing is showcasing Pokemon, but reimagining them as Sims, okay? And so I'm going to start off with 001, Bulbasaur, and we're going to break it down and do the evolution of Bulbasaur. So we're going to do a child, a teenager, and a young adult, okay? And I want to go ahead and showcase that across the board. So basically we're going to do Gen 1 Pokemon in this series, and I really hope you guys like it. So if you guys didn't know, the point of Pokemon, the video game and the show, is for a particular character, Ash Ketchum, get it? Ketchum, he has to catch them all, to become a world famous Pokemon master, right? So initially in his hometown of Kanto, he and Professor Oak, they are supposed to pick starter Pokemon. And Ash's rival Gary ends up waking up before him and picks his Pokemon. And as we all know, Ash ends up getting a Pikachu, right? But that's him. I am a little bit more partial to the water type Pokemon, and we will definitely be seeing Squirtle coming up along with his evolutionary forms. But right now we're going to focus on Pokemon 001, which is Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is so adorable, so cute. I mean, he has this bulb on his back, and he has a huge seed in it, and he takes in sun, and that gives him energy. So it's so cute. It's like photosynthesis, basically. Basically, he's a walking, like, cat, piggy, claw, bear, flower person. I don't know. It's the best way I can describe it. But as you guys see, as we go through this, you'll see the evolution forms. So I was really proud about this particular iteration of Bulbasaur as I was doing it. I am a simmer of color, or I like to refer to myself more as a blurred. And all my Sims have, characteristics of individuals of color. For the most part, I do try to make sure that simmers of color or individuals of color are represented throughout my creations on this channel. And so I just try to show diversity across the board. And she came out really cute in my opinion. And yeah, I think it was a great start off to the series, right? So if you guys didn't know, Pokemon, they evolve, right? So you start off with, for example, the Bulbasaur, which is what we're doing. And then at level 16, which is perfect for the teenager sim. You see where I'm going, guys? You see where I'm going here with this? Keep up, follow along. So at level 16, Bulbasaur can evolve into Ivysaur. So that is who we're doing now. As a teenager, I think it's a bit more, you come into your own a little bit. So the detailing on the child, there wasn't too many details because it's still a child. I didn't want hair, makeup, the whole 9 yards. Like, no, this is a teenager, so we're gonna, they're playing in makeup. So we're gonna go ahead and touch base on things like that As you guys know, if you aren't new to my channel, I do all of my skin details and things of that nature off camera, and then we go in and do the look, full glam, and get them right as we go along. Okay, so what I did here was I kind of struggled a little bit actually if I was gonna give them the color skin tone of the actual Pokemon. Like I struggled a little bit, but ultimately in the end I was like, no, how are you gonna know that this is a reimagined Pokemon if it's not the skin tone, right? So I had to go ahead and really like incorporate that. And so I think it's Berry Sims that has all these wide array of different skin tones like across the rainbow, and I was able to find one that matched the tone of the actual Ivysaur, so I was really excited for that. And Ivysaur is Pokemon 002. Yes, they all start 00 and then the number. That is what happens because this is Gen 1. And I think right now we're up to 10 generations, and there's a new Pokemon game coming out at the end of the year. Z and A is what it's called, I believe, for Nintendo Switch. And yeah, after that comes out, we should be up to 1025 Pokemon. So this might be a very long series. I don't know. I may only do the starters from each generation, or I may just stick to fan favorites. I don't know. But I do know for a fact that we will be doing evolutions. Yes, guys, evolutions are coming. Who doesn't love Eevee? Who doesn't love Eevee? But anyway, back to Ivysaur. So this is Ivy. Yes, I know, a little cliche, but just follow me. Just follow me with this. Just accept it. Just accept it that it's cliche. Okay. Bulbasaur was Bulbara. Judge somebody else. Don't judge me. Judge somebody else. Okay. I couldn't come up with anything like that was cute to shorten the name. But here we have Ivy, and her last name is Soar, and then obviously Bulbara was Bulbara Soar. Look, okay, I can't. I'm not that great with names. Okay, sue me. So same thing. Now the bud on Bulbasaur's back has now evolved a little bit and is now opening up, so you can actually see the blooming, the petals of the bud. So it's now turning into a bit of a flower, right? So same thing. It's like photosynthesis that's taking place, and it takes in energy from the sun and converts it into energy to self-sustain itself, right? So I wanted to kind of keep within the color pattern of the Ivysaur, and I went with pinks, light blues, and greens, and I know it's a literal flower on her pants, okay? But I think we came out really well with Ivysaur, and the way that it turned out, guys, I was obsessed with how it came out, because having to reimagine a character as a sim is very difficult, and I give credit where credit is due to a lot of these creators out here that recreate characters or just iconic brands or just anything, and it takes me a little second, but like, okay, does it look like this? Like how would it look as a sim, and so I wanted to really incorporate something that I felt would really showcase us a Pokemon. So there is a Vine Whip attack, and I wanted to use these, I guess, cables? It's like cables, I think you would call them, like a jewel cable or whatever. And that is the illusion of the vines, right? So for the Vine Whip attack, go with me. Go with me here. Go with me. Do you see where I'm going? Creativity. You have to think outside the box on some of these. You really, really have to. And so I was like, oh my God, that'd be so cute. And I think it turned out really, really well. I really definitely try to make these look like Pokemon to an extent. Like the shape of the face is round. The hair color is the color of the leaves that represent that. Well, that's a part of the bud growing on their back. and the skin tone as well. So I really tried, and once again, I tried to make my Sims diverse across the board, whether they are Sims of color or any other ethnicity. I really try to incorporate diversity into this channel. I know I'm a Simmer of color, but like my whole towns, like my worlds and Sims are not full of just, I have to say it, African Americans or black people. It's not full of that. It's full of everything, every culture. I like to, you know, celebrate each and every culture because that's just kind of how things are in my line of work, what I do outside of this. This is just a really guilty pleasure and a nice little hobby that I do. But I do have a business that I run that allows me to meet different people every single day. And so I celebrate that as I make these Sims. But yeah, back to Ivy. Sore. So I was really trying to incorporate the growing bud on their back into their hair. I really wanted to use some of the floral accessories that I had downloaded. And yes, it took me a while to download a lot of these things. It took me a while. Okay, you know how it is when you're downloading your CC and your mods. You start off one place and then you see a suggestion for something else, and then another suggestion for something else. And as a CAS creator, I literally like, oh my gosh, I can use that for this. And oh, what about when I create this character? And da 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 da. And so yes, I did go down a CC mod rabbit hole, and it went a little longer than it should have, and I'm not proud of it. But I take full responsibility. I take accountability for that. I know you guys. If you are a simmer, I know you can relate, especially if you are one that uses CC and mods. I know you can relate, okay? So after Ivysaur, there is an additional evolution, and I wanted that evolution to be the young adult, so to speak. I mean, I guess it's more of the adult, but I made them a young adult. In this video. So with that being said, I'm really excited with how she came out. I mean, I think it went really, really well. I did struggle a little bit with the hair. I really did struggle a little bit with the hair. Just because I wasn't trying to have anything cut and clip the flower crown. But I also did want something kind of down, framing her face. And I didn't want too much pink. There was a lot of pink going on in the outfit. And pink is not one of my favorite colors. I know. Shocked gasp. Shocked gasp. Yes, pink is not one of my favorite colors. So I didn't want too much pink, but this is just kind of how it came out, and I had to stick with that. So the hair ultimately did end up being green, and that is what I stuck with. The makeup, I did struggle with that a little bit as well, but I think it came out really nice. You know, I am definitely not a makeup artist on CAS. I'm not a makeup artist in person. Yeah, that is not my thing. I barely know how to go ahead and throw on some primer and concealer and foundation, okay? So when I do these looks in CAS, it's definitely not coming from a place of expertise. It's what I think looks nice on the sim, okay? I don't know anything about baking or contouring, but yeah, it came out nice in my opinion, and I feel like I made it work. So yeah, just actually when this video is done, just comment down below like which sim or Pokemon is your favorite, and also let me know which Pokemon you want me to create next. I am gonna start off with the starter Pokemon, but if there's someone else that you guys want to see, and like, give me a challenge. Drop it in the comments below. Give me a challenge. So last but not least, like I said, is our big girl, Venusaur. And yes, her name is Venus, last name Soar. I know, once again, not creative on the names. Not creative on the names. So I made Venusaur a young adult, and supposedly Venusaur, well, from Ivysaur, at level 32, Ivysaur can evolve into Venusaur. Okay, so young adult-ish. I mean, 32 is still young, in my opinion. So I left her as a young adult. That's millennial age, folks. Millennial age. Or like, was it Gen Zers? I don't know. I think millennial age. For the sake of this video, millennial age. So Venusaur is the final evolution of Bulbasaur. And I think later on down the line, there were things called mega evolutions. That was a lot going on, and I didn't want to take away from the original Generation 1 Pokemon. So we just stuck with Bulbasaur evolving into Ivysaur and Ivysaur evolving into Venusaur. I remember specifically where I was. I was a young teenager when the movie came out, when the Pokemon movie came out. Oh my gosh, guys, that broke. There was no breaking of internet. It broke the world. Like, I remember going to the movie theater and watching that movie. I think I still own the movie on VHS. Yes, I am that old. I do have VHS tapes still. I still have DVDs. Yes, and we do still have a working VHS player. Surely do. I am nostalgic, if anything. So Venusaur is a larger version of the prior two. They literally can take in the sun and use it as an attack. I think it is, oh my gosh, what's the name of the attack? I think it's Sunbeam or something like that. I think it's like a Sunbeam. Solar Beam. There you go. See, sun and solar, it's the same thing, but yeah, Solar Beam. They can do a Solar Beam, and it's like their ultimate attack, right? And so when it came to Ivysaur, they're in the picture, they look a little rough around the edges, but they're really sweet and gentle creatures. They're grass type. They wouldn't hurt a fly. Unless we're in a Pokemon battle. And at that point, it's no holds barred, right? So when it came to creating Ivysaur, I once again stuck with as close of a skin tone, I believe, to the actual Pokemon Ivysaur. I wanted to once again incorporate the colors, and the bud that was on Bulbasaur's back that evolved a little bit and started to bloom on Ivysaur has now fully opened up and is a full-blown plant on top of Ivysaur's back. And so I did definitely want to incorporate that color scheme when it came to doing Ivysaur. I know I have to say it like that so you guys know that that's her first name and her last name. But I did want to incorporate that color scheme. So being a young adult, or going into millennial age, I'm using air quotes, I wanted to tone down the makeup. I didn't want it as bright. I definitely wanted something that did showcase the pinks and the greens. I didn't want it like in your face. So I wanted it to be a little smoked out, smoky eye, just something simple. Something simple and subtle, but where you still kind of got the point. I did struggle a little bit with trying to find the right eyeshadow here, but overall I do think that it came out really, really nice. Lips were simple as well, kind of a nude pink is what I stuck with when it came to that. And as you guys can see, I tried my hardest to, because the eye color does change. The eye color does change within each evolution. So for Bulbasaur, they're red. They're red eyes, which is interesting because then they go into pink when it comes to Ivysaur and Venusaur. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure that the smaller details were addressed while I went ahead and created Venusaur. So as you guys saw, there was a cute little, kid dress for Bulbasaur, something that I feel like she can go and play in. And then I wanted to do a pant for a teenager. And then I wanted to, like I said, Venusaur is a little rough around the edges, so I wanted to make her a little bit more approachable in her look, make it a little girly. So I found this really, really cute flower embroidered skirt. I guess the embroideries around the hem of the skirt. I thought it was really adorable. And I was like, okay, boom. That's the flower that's growing on the back. That is the flower that's growing on the back. And sorry guys if you hear me yawn. I am exhausted. Okay, I'm playing Marvel Rivals. Playing Marvel Rivals for like ages now, so just a little tired. But yeah, I wanted to do something just a little bit more feminine when it came to Venusaur. Like I said, I feel like looking at them, they just are scary to people, and I think that they're super sweet and adorable. And yeah, they're not aggressive, but yeah, they'll protect their family. So I love that. And to incorporate it and make it look more plant-esque, grass type, I did find these really, really cool flower vine stockings. So I wanted it to look like flowers and vines were growing on her or growing out of her. And I thought it came out really cool. I was like, wow, look at the stuff that I downloaded. Look at the stuff that I downloaded. So I was really excited to have found that, Cece. If you're interested in it, I'll find who the creator was and I'll put it in the description. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of cool CC that I found while doing this first video in the series. So, and yeah, the next set was, you'll see what the next set is. That was hard. That was very, very hard to do, but I'm really excited how the next set came out as well. But yes, once again, I wanted to incorporate diversity and, you know, sprinkle a little individual of color, you know, little textured hair, natural hair vibes. Just cause, oh my god, I'm so tired. I know that long pause was the yawn. Oh my gosh. So natural hair vibes, because grass is natural, flowers are natural. It's just giving outdoor vibes. And so the natural hair, and I went with these gorgeous rose-colored roses in her hair. I did try to maybe add some highlight, but yeah, that was that was not working out. That was not working out at all. So I no highlights in the hair. It wasn't necessary. It just she looked like she had a bad color job at that point. So no highlights in the hair. With that being said, I just kept everything very simple in terms of hair, makeup, and the styling in general. But I did find these really cool leaf earrings. And because when you look at the picture of Venusaur, there are leaves coming off of her, but the flower is the predominant thing. But I wanted to incorporate the leaf as well. So that's it. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in the next one.